Welcome to Great Talk and Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Great Talk and Entertainment Official YouTube channel. Subscribe, smash that like button, hit that notification button so you can always be up to date with all the latest content and more. Baby, let's go. Now, as we continue on the book of Boba Fett episode review, this is, of course, a spoiler. So if you have not seen the show or any of the episodes, please, leave me a little like, pause this, go watch the whole thing on Disney Plus, come back, check out my review, and then let me know what you think in the comments of any of these videos on our YouTube channel at Great Talk and Entertainment Official. You got to let me know what you think, baby. So let's get into it. The Book of Boba Fett, Episode 5, took us on a complete different story, and this gave us the Mandalorian. Yes, the Mandalorian, Mr. Mando. Now, and the fact that this actually happened, I personally think this is very awesome because for many different reasons, this shows that any other Star Wars character can show up any show or movie and have their own episode, full episode, or for obviously since I said movie, they can have a whole complete scene and storyline in a movie at this point. Um, and I just think that's really cool just because of those. That to me, that tells me like they're really trying to, they're trying to expand the Star Wars universe, and this is kind of like a business move. Like they're trying to play catch up because obviously, like Star Wars movies and a lot of the TV shows have such a huge gap, not like in the story or the timeline, but like in when these movies were released, um, when they did these shows, and then there's a huge like gap of where they weren't making any Star Wars. They're trying to build these bridges, and they're deciding. They're going back through old like back catalogs of Star Wars, and I can tell now how they're reamping the Star Wars series. It's not like a reboot or nothing. Like reamping just means like they're gonna take some stuff out that necessarily doesn't need to be canon, or just not canon for the moment, just because it's not there yet. They're answering questions that people wanted to know for years, and they finally answered it, or they just made it into a live action, and people finally get to see this, especially for the hardcore Star Wars fans, including myself, right? And I think that's really cool because this is one of the way they can do that is just give a whole episode to another Star Wars character. This is called the Book of Boba Fett, so they're doing it like the Bible or a religious way. This is chapter blah blah blah. This is this. This is this is the friend, the son. Whatever. Boba Fett's the OG, the Mandalorian. Now he's the new guy. He's the young buck. But they probably don't say those words in Star Wars universe. So they got that. This also gives, when they showed the Mandalorian have his own episode, that means like they're letting you know, hey, we're gonna cover the Star Wars characters that you guys wanted to see in a live action, whether it's a movie or a show, right? And they're saying we're gonna go do it. We're gonna go all in for this. This is a huge thing for Star Wars fans, and this is gonna make the franchise more presentable, more enjoyable for the new Star Wars fans of this generation and stuff. Because, like I said, obviously Star Wars has a huge gap of when all these films and shows were made. Watching like Star Wars Episode One. even if you watch the remake, not a remake, but like remastered version of it, it's still like, okay, you know that these actors who played the most iconic Star Wars characters, they're either no longer here on Earth or they're just older, and now they have to justify all that, not in like in the Star Wars shows per se like that, but like say, okay, look, we are Luke's. They're saying like, yeah, we know the Luke Skywalker, the same actor is still Luke Skywalker. He's still canon. They're not gonna redo and get cast a new actor to play Luke Skywalker, which some people are like, well, they might as well. It's been years. They have the actor. They have him, so there's really no point of changing. But they're canonizing and they're retconning some stuff too, and they're going to cleaning up. Basically, is where I'm getting my point at. So, having the Mandalorian show up on this show is a huge step, a huge change. And it's making the idea of where Star Wars is going in the future, as far as new things coming out, whether it's for film and TV. So this is a huge thing for Star Wars, and I think we're gonna have some great stuff. So but let's get in this episode. It just starts off with Mando going into a butcher shop, and he literally butchers the butcher for a bounty. There's this. That's what the Mandalorian does. He's a bounty hunter, right? And first they're like, "Nah, you ain't taking me in," and then he did. He told him you can come in warm or cold, which is dead or alive, and obviously they chose to fight the Mandalorian, which I love this scene because the dark saber, it shows how you have to be worthy to carry any type of saber, the lightsaber, the dark saber, the double lightsaber, whatever saber. These things are heavy, and this is why the Jedi mind is the key point of handling the lightsabers. Look at Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader for years and years. They make it look easy, but then when you get a guy who's not a Jedi or a Sith Lord, he doesn't have the ability to control the Force. This thing's a heavy thing. Like, it's light when it's not turned on, but when you turn that light dark saber on his heart, it's very heavy, and you could see it because the Mando was struggling swinging that dark saber because it's not for a everybody thing. That's why like Han, and it's really cool. That little detailed thing explains why all these years you never seen Han Solo with a lightsaber, because that thing is so heavy and he's not worthy of a lightsaber. So why would he get it? And that's why he uses a laser gun and shoots, right? And that just explains a lot, a lot. So basically now in Star Wars universe, they're saying like not everybody's worthy enough for a lightsaber, but doesn't say Mandalorian can't be worthy of it. He's just on a long, long path because throughout any Star Wars shows, really, honestly, they never really went into detail about, from step one, like start from scratch to, welding a lightsaber when you have nobody to actually train you. Look at everybody, whether it's in the animated series, the older Star Wars, even like the prequels. There was always somebody there who has experience with a lightsaber to teach and help somebody weld it very well, right? Not the Mandalorian. The Mandalorians don't do lightsabers. They do guns. They do shooting. And that's okay. They have knives and and spears and stuff and whatever, but that's not lightsabers are not really in the Mandalorian way, but the dark saber has a lot of history with it, but not everybody in the Mandalorian clan. You have to be apparently you have to be related to a certain Mandalorian member to really wield it, and as you saw that. But the history of this, the dark saber it's cursed. It seems cursed, right? This obviously comes from like the Death Watch that was on the Condoria, which is the moon. The moon is named Condoria, and it gets destroyed by these like robots that went pretty much Terminator 2 and wiped them out, like destroyed them, right? And so this dark saber is why uh, it's referred to being cursed, because this is something that the Siths wanted. Would you where you, when somebody wants to take a lightsaber on whatever side, it's because they understand the ability of it, and both sides of this party wants that dark saber. And I'm pretty sure that in the future, we're going to see some other Star Wars characters that are Jedis and Siths that are going to want that saber back, the dark saber, because this is an important weapon that could be a game changer for whoever side you choose, whether it's the good side or the bad side. Come on, Star Wars fans, you know what I'm talking about. And you know, uh, Mando goes to this like oh, I don't know, it's like a ship, and it reminds me of like punk, like it kind of reminds me of one of the older Pokemon games where how the time shifts from day to light, but obviously it's just because of the sun or the stars and outer space, right? And obviously the the surviving the Mandalorians have to be in the darkest place of this town. And Mando goes down there, he finds them, and he gets his armor upgrade. And the armor, she's upset. She's upset. She knows some stuff, and you know, me personally, I couldn't figure her out very well because, like I said, I don't really read Star Wars comic books or read any of the books like that. This because, like I always said in previous episodes, like I read so much that a lot of my reading takes up from DC Comics or Marvel or whatever. So it's like really hard for me to just find really time to really commit to Star Wars, which I should obviously, duh, right? But she's up. But anyway, I just want to say that I think she's up. The armor, she's up to something, because why the Mando and the other Mandalorian, they were kind of fighting over for that dark saber. He obviously Mando laid the smackdown on him. She goes, hey, you know she did like this is the way speech, right? And she asked both of them like, hey, would you have you took your mask off and showed somebody? The other guy's like, no way. And obviously Mando has twice, and obviously he wasn't gonna lie, so he said, yeah, I did. And he showed it to the to a robot, one of the robots, but technically the robot's not human. It's a droid, and that droid is non-existent because in the Mandalorian season, it sacrificed itself, and yeah, it was done. And then Grogu, he showed his face to Grogu, but Grogu's just a baby, and what's Grogu gonna say? Dada? I don't know, but um, obviously his secret's safe, but she's like, oh, you know what? Now you gotta go prove your loyalty. So now Mando has to go prove his loyalty, and because he believe he was raised to believe in this stuff. This is what I think is gonna happen is it's like either she's working for like she's up to no good, like maybe like the Mandalorian doesn't realize that she has given up. Like she probably showed her face multiple times, and she's gonna she's gonna rebuild it, but in a different way. So this is the way speech will be changed, and she's up. I think she's up to some sneaky evil stuff, and poor Mando has no idea what's going on. So I think they're gonna I think they're gonna continue the story on the next Mandalorian or whatever dark Star Wars show or movie they give us, right? And I'm just thinking like, oh man, like I cannot wait for this. Like, come on, give it to me. So I'm definitely rating. So I definitely think she's up to no good, and I think she's on some shady stuff. And I hope we find out quicker. Um, let's go on to the next thing. Peli Mato. I think that's how you say her name. I hope. So I'm gonna just go with that. Mando reunites with her, and obviously, but, he has to get on like this like a charter, but it's a giant spaceship that just takes people to different places, like a bus, like a taxi or Uber or whatever, or a Greyhound bus, but it's like an outer space version. And it's really funny because like Mando's just sitting in there, he's like, "Oh my god, I just put all my weapons and it's in the storage." Like it's just like being trying to go on a Greyhound. You got all your personal settings in that suitcase, and you got to put on in this thing, and it's with other people's stuff, and oh gosh, yeah, yeah, definitely know how Mando feels, but um, obviously he's worried about that dark saber one mostly. I don't think he cares about the guns and whatever else. But he goes back, reunites with her, and he only went back because he was hoping that she was working on some mechanic work for his old ship, but she was not. She was building rebuilding, I should say, a N1 star fighter. Um, it's the same one from the Phantom of the Menace. And obviously, she revealed, which I think is cool, and I definitely have 1,000 different questions. But she used to date Java, and they even help her get new like parts and junks from the junkyard or whatever, and even steals parts from like some super tough evil dudes or gang or whatever, right? And I had a lot of questions about her dating a Java. Like one, I do hope they show like a past brief of her dating one, and then obviously I had to break this down because like I had a lot of inappropriate questions, but I said, you know what, I'm gonna keep those to myself and not share them on the podcast. So I won't mention those. But here's like two more questions I had. Like two, like why, like how, like how was the who flirted with who first, and that's crazy, right? And then the third one is just my third question would be like, uh, where is this Java at? Like, where is the Java at? Is he different? Is he tall? What? I don't know. I mean, Java is just short and cute, but I mean they're dangerous too. But that's so Star Wars. But definitely thought that was pretty interesting. I thought that was funny. Like maybe this character Pelly, she needs her own show, right? Right? Pelly and the Java. I don't know. That'd be cool, right? But okay, so anyway, you know, she rebuilds the ship, right? And it's a nice shave. Then the Mandalorian gives it a test drive, and whew, he is driving this thing, and the Easter egg in this was like when he went into like it looked like that looks like the Grand Canyon, how the rocks were really placed. He went in between two like mountains, and it reminded me of like the Star Wars prequels when the a young Dark Vader Anakin drove it, and he took the N1 star fighter made it go like fly sideways into a small space gap, right? And Mando did the same exact thing. I thought that was a callback, a tribute, whatever. And I thought that was really cool. So that's awesome. And I like how when he went up all the way in outer space, he got pulled over by some X-wings, and it was the same ones from obviously the Mandalorian. Except there was one, but the other guy was different. The other guy was different. I think that's a different character, but that works. That drives things. But you know, they let the Mando go, and they couldn't catch him because the way she built the N1 starfighter, they can't catch him on the radar. And the whole point of Mando is a bounty hunter. Like, he does his job and he has to disappear. Like, be gone. You can't find him. No evidence, right? So now you got the police, like, good cop, bad cop, and cops chasing the criminals doing vigilante stuff. But all in outer space. Really cool. Awesome. Love that. Um, what I think is, you know what? I honestly think those, you know what? Those two, I think those two are gonna show up in more Star Wars content in the future. Like how they showed up. Like they're gonna make a small appearance. Kind of sprinkling. I think they're gonna be, one of the characters that will be the key of connecting each show and movie together, which is cool. No, it's not like a Stan Lee cameo, right? But it's the same concept of it, and I think that's really cool. So, at the end when he came back, Shan came back and gave him some money or whatever, and say, "Hey, we need you to help me and Boba Fett." And he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna do it for free." Because they have good history together, and they helped each other out in the last one. And I think Boba Fett and Mandalorian are going to be the team up for the final episode, which I think they're going to do episode 6 is the season finale. I believe if I'm not, great. If I'm right, cool. But definitely, I think this is gonna be really cool. Like I said, I think Boba Fett's gonna expose some secrets about the Mandalorian way that needs to be exposed that we don't know about. Obviously, Mando don't know about, but Boba Fett does because he's the OG. He's the OG. He's definitely the OG of this. So I think there's gonna be a lot of revealing for episode 6. This was just not. I'm not saying this is a filler up, but it's definitely it has potential to be a filler, but it's not a bad filler. Not filler ups are not always bad, but this is definitely cool. This is a whole. It took us a whole turn. So no Boba Fett, but a lot of Mandalorian. But episode 6 is all about Mandalorian and the Boba Fett. So I definitely can't wait. This is a really good episode. I know this was directed by the person who directs the Mandalorian. So I thought that was really cool too. Great episode. It got a little dark. You got a little dark, but it was a good Disney's really saying, you know what, we can go dark, but we know how to go dark the right way. I guess I don't know the Disney way, right? So definitely a great episode. I'm giving this an 8. Because now I'm excited for the next season of The Mandalorian. Like we need another season of The Mandalorian, right? So I'm ready. So I love this episode. So you should too, right? All right. So yeah, leave your comments in what you guys think about this episode and tell me guys what you think. So thank you for listening to my review. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talk and Entertainment Official. Subscribe, smash that like button. Hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all our latest content. Thank you and peace out, baby.